On a secluded island off the coast of England, 10 strangers found themselves drawn together by a mysterious invitation to a weekend retreat at the luxurious Starlight Manor. Each guest arrived with their own secrets and baggage, unaware of the dark fate that awaited them on the island shores. Among the guests were William Carter, a distinguished lawyer, Emily Adams, a talented artist, James Peterson, a retired Army captain, Sarah Miller, a young nurse, Michael Johnson, a wealthy businessman, Laura White, a glamorous socialite, Thomas Brown, a reclusive author, Rebecca Taylor, a devoted housekeeper, Daniel Clark, a charming actor, and Grace Evans, a quiet librarian. As the guests settled into the opulent surroundings of Starlight Manor, they soon realized that their mysterious host was nowhere to be found. Instead, they were greeted by the enigmatic butler, Mr. Reynolds, who assured them that their host would arrive shortly. Despite their initial apprehension, the guests found themselves drawn to the allure of the secluded island and the promise of an unforgettable weekend. Yet, as the evening wore on, tensions began to rise among the guests, fueled by suspicion and paranoia. Each one harbored secrets that threatened to unravel in the pressure cooker environment of Starlight Manor. And when the first guest was found dead under mysterious circumstances, fear gripped the hearts of the remaining 9. With no way to contact the outside world and the island shrouded in darkness, the guests realized that they were trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse. As the body count rose and the survivors grappled with the realization that the killer was among them, paranoia consumed their every thought and action. The suspense reached its peak as the guests struggled to unravel the mystery of their host's identity and the motive behind the murders. With no clear suspect and each one suspecting the other, trust became a scarce commodity, and alliances shifted like sand in the wind. As the night wore on, the remaining guests became increasingly desperate to unmask the killer and escape the island before they became the next victims. But with each passing hour, the sense of impending doom grew stronger, and the realization dawned that no one was safe from the killer's wrath. In a shocking twist, the survivors discovered that their host was none other than Mr. Reynolds, the loyal butler who had served them throughout the weekend. Betrayed by those he had devoted his life to, Mr. Reynolds sought revenge for past injustices by luring his former employers to the island and subjecting them to a twisted game of life and death. With the revelation of Mr. Reynolds' true identity, the survivors raced against time to stop him before he could claim any more lives. But as they confronted the deranged butler in the darkened halls of Starlight Manor, they realized that their fate had been sealed from the moment they set foot on the island. In a final showdown, the survivors fought for their lives against the vengeful butler, their courage and determination the only weapons they had against the darkness that threatened to consume them. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, illuminating the blood-stained halls of Starlight Manor, the survivors emerged battered but victorious, their ordeal finally at an end. As they stepped off the island and back into the world beyond, the survivors vowed never to forget the horrors they had witnessed at the hands of the Vanishing Guests. And though the scars of that fateful weekend would linger for years to come, they knew that they had emerged stronger and more resilient than they ever thought possible.